Um, just to backtrack real quickly, I do not have to get too sidetracked here, but okay, getting back on track. But
Let's keep going.
just to backtrack real quickly, I remember everyone. We're not gonna get into this right now, guys. Let's move forward. Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about anything that happened.
Can you fake it? Hello and welcome to episode 100 of Draft Offsides. I'm with Tiko and Enzo. My name is Keefe. We did it, guys.
100.
100.
100.
100.
You know what really upset me is that when I was watching the last episode, because I remember Sergey saying about when you hit 100 subscribers, you get commercials. I fucking thought it was a commercial. It was something he fucking added.
No, he was just messing with you. But that was also, I still don't quite understand the edit that Sergey made in it. But
that's why I thought it was a commercial.
But we need him to explain it to us.
He will eventually.
At another time. Or maybe it's just a joke. Maybe it's just we're not even in on the joke on our own podcast. Maybe that's it.
He's doing his own inside jokes on his edits. Oh my god!
I love it. It's fine. Okay, so fun episode today, guys. We're doing another mock draft. Obviously, we're much closer now than we were when we did our mock draft over a month ago. So this one's going to be a lot more relevant. People are starting to draft. So this is the real deal. We're in the thick of it. Things are happening. There will be obviously a slightly little adjustments. This draft is from July 31st. So obviously anything that's happened since then won't be in here. But so that's what we're doing today. Okay, shall we get into the draft?
Yeah, let's first.
Okay, let's just get a temperature check to start it. And how did you feel after this?
I did not feel good, perfectly honest, because I said this earlier. Like Sergey fell asleep and didn't wake up in time for the draft, but he was smart enough to put a Q in. Enzo thought, you know what? I'm gonna raw dog it. Fine. I'm well equipped to pick up some players. And you know what Enzo did after the sixth round? Rattled, panicked.
Yeah, so that to me, like, you were a little cocky going in. You got humbled a little bit.
I got real humbled. Yeah. Got real humbled.
You picked a goalkeeper in the 10th round.
Bro, I panicked.
Okay, hold on. Let's not get there, but it was very funny. There was a few. So round one, it's pretty standard first few picks. I think 1-1, Saka, 1-2, Salah, 1-3, Palmer, 1-4, Holland. I thought this was a little bit interesting, and this is something that in the chat, in the Banter Boy, big shout out to Banter Boy. There's a lot of the guys from their mock Discord filled in some of these spots. But they were kind of asking what we thought about this Wirtz ahead of Bruno pick. What did you guys?
It's still understandable. Like we got to think that Bruno might be playing a little bit deeper. We do know Bruno's going to do Bruno things, but we don't know. It's the unexpected from Wirtz and a Liverpool team that is now stacked with firepower. Like he's not only going to score goals, he's going to have a plethora of players to pass to assist to. So I think I don't disagree with it. I think if you went either or, it works out. I don't think that's a bad pick.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same vein, and just in the sense that like there's not like a wrong way to go. But I think ultimately, like even as someone who I've talked about how I'm not as hot on Bruno as I have been in the past because of what we talked about, like just him having more players playing ahead of him and playing deeper and whatnot. But like he's still just such a known commodity that it's hard for me to stomach kick. But I think it's more exciting. Like Wirtz is probably more exciting to draft, and I think, there's a lot of upset there. But I think ultimately, like when you look at Wirtz, even with the unknown element of it, like he has such a good kind of like pedigree as a player, and Liverpool is such a good like structure as a team that I feel like he's set up for success. So yeah, I really don't hate it, but I think it's very personal. I think if I had a gun to my head, I'd probably go Bruno. Yeah. But like if you're having fun with it, why not? It's not gonna ruin your draft.
No.
Tiko, any thoughts? You're looking side to side.
I think just going to of an unknown player on when there's so many, like, obviously Bruno Fernandez, who's been a stallion ever since he's been in the Premiership, and like outside of Haaland, who's been like dominant since they came, like fantasy,
especially from the German league, right? Like, like a lot of them struggle. So that's you're very right.
So again, I mean, I think he's going to start off good, but we saw with Solbasai as well. The first year, kind of the energy it takes. The Premier League is obviously a lot more physical and a lot more games. So holding up for the entirety of the game, playing 40 to 50 games, I don't know. I think it's just high risk. Bruno's done it, just been so consistent. To me, it's kind of wild to
I think
pass
that's
up
super
on that.
valid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think ultimately, I think we all rank Bruno ahead, but I don't. Yeah, for that reason. Okay, Jared Bowen 1-7, a little bit earlier, I think ahead of Isak, which is a little odd to me too. We don't need to get into it too much. I think maybe the Isak news a little bit is rattling people, but like kind of like what Ryan talked about last week on the pod is like there's only upside. Either he goes to Liverpool or he stays in Newcastle, and either way,
It's gonna be fine.
it's gonna be absolutely fine.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm not mad.
As long as he stays in the Premiership, he's okay.
Yeah, maybe there's a small chance, but I really don't see him doing that. Kind of surprising to see Mbeumo go ahead of Cunha. It's kind of been the opposite. And that was Enzo's picking from the 1-9. Enzo, what was the logic there?
I just feel like Mbeumo can get more fantasy points. Like, in my opinion, I think Cunha will probably still score goals, but I think Mbeumo is going to be one of those pieces too. He's a key piece for Man United now in the attacking fray. They're both going to be playing basically the same position, but I think Mbeumo will do a lot more dribble completions, a lot more shots. I just like Mbeumo better than Cunha, I'll be honest.
Okay, then 110 is I bet you Eze goes, and 111 Matheus Cunha goes. Then I'm sitting at 12, and I was kind of hoping that Cunha would drop to me because I think that I like have a better idea of what I want there. But I'm at 112 looking at Victor Gyökeres still on the board, Anthony Semenyo still on the board, and something I haven't done before, and I thought, why not some mock draft? Let's go for it. Is go forward in the first round with my 1-2 or my 112 and then 2-1. So I went Gyökeres and Semenyo, which is kind of a little bit of a risky play just from that standpoint. Two forwards, no defender, no midfielders.
Yeah, but no, not mad at it. Not mad at it, Keefe. Like you're two good forwards. One we're not sure his first season, and the other one is more of a sure thing, in my opinion.
That's the idea. I also think it's nowhere that the 11th pick went Marmoush right after, so they were Cunha, Marmoush, and I was Gyökeres, Semenyo. And I was kind of wondering how that was going to affect the draft. And you see it as you go through that because so many forwards are taking early, that there ends up being some mids later that are pretty good, that are kind of left over a little bit. But what do you guys think? Like Marmoush in the 2-2 to me feels really early as well. I thought that one was like, doesn't make a lot of sense, just considering the players still there. I guess what you're really hoping for is just like that's going to be like all upside. Like if you ignore Pep Roulette, and you just look at his points per start, then maybe like it makes sense. But other than that, I think I have a really hard time with that one.
And he's also leaving for 7 games, won't he? Probably for the AFCON.
Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah. So, he went forward. He went Cunha, who's probably he's not as goal dependent, and he's got Marmoush, who is probably definitely.
Even with Cunha, I think my concern, and you're going to drop him there in the first round. You're going to probably have to because just what it is. But my concern is that like it's just a new team, new coach, all these new factors. So I don't love like hopping into players like that. And if I am going to hop into a player like that, I want my next pick to be a little safer. And so going with Cunha and then going with Marmoush is like just a lot of risk, and then also a lot of eggs in one positional basket too.
Agreed.
So a little concerning, but I mean, upsides there for sure. 2-3, Ollie Watkins goes. 2-4, Odegaard. That's you, Enzo. You decided to go Odegaard in the 2-4.
It just felt to me. It made sense to take Odegaard. There was not really. I wasn't going to take Diallo because I already had a Man United player, and especially with my understanding, I'm not. I know Mbeumo is saying he's going to play in 10, but there is times where he could actually play that very attacking wingback role, in my opinion.
Or play as a striker too. I mean, he's pretty versatile.
Yeah. So Odegaard there. My only issue with that is if Arsenal do eventually get Eze, if they get Eze, that'll be the only thing I was thinking of. But I'm hoping they don't, and I don't think they will. And I think Odegaard will play the same place he always played for Arsenal. As long as Saka stays healthy, he'll get his assists.
I think you got to feel pretty good with Odegaard there. I mean, on a lot of mocks, I've been actually taking Odegaard in like the 2-1, and I've seen Odegaard going a lot early second round. So getting him, in the 2-4, you're almost halfway through the round at that point. Solid. Yep. Tiko, any thoughts with that pick?
No, I mean I'm a fan of Odegaard, but I think like going Gibbs White might have been the safer pick, especially since he's staying at Forest. And I thought Enzo, like Keefe and I think both of you are high on Odegaard, but Enzo was not high in our when we were talking before in previous episodes. But it was kind of interesting you went Odegaard there.
Well, maybe I got a little bit of bias because Gibbs White fucked me. So
got it. All right. I
love it. Okay, so Gibbs White goes Diallo in the 2-5, Gibbs White right after 2-6, Daniel Muniz goes 2-7. I think at that point in drafts, if he's still there at the 2-7, I'm liking that. I think maybe a little earlier, I'm not feeling great, but there, like, do you hate that or do you like that? What do you guys think? Would you rather him go later in the draft if you like?
Well, like Tiko said, he's had a consistent year and a half. You know what I mean? Like
it's more than just a year.
It's a year and a half. Yeah, it's more than a year. So he's had a good year, and it's a defender. And it's a defender you can, like Tiko said, you can set and forget. So
I guess the only concern. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I'm not mad at it. If you look at the players afterwards that got picked up, what was Ekatike,
João Pedro, Foden.
Foden's the only one there where I'm like, ugh. Like I want to pick.
Well, if you look at the entirety of the second round, he might be the most like guaranteed player from everyone else. Like everyone else has question marks around them, except Muniz.
Yeah, I think the question marks about Muniz would be like is he going to play too much? You know what I mean? Everyone else is like, is like a lot of other players are they going to get enough playing time? Are they going to lock in the start? And Muniz, it's like they're like, oh man, he might be playing too many games.
Hopefully the appeal doesn't go through and Crystal Palace is not in Europe. So
they'll be in Europe either way. It'll be conference.
Yeah, Chelsea former champions.
But I know what you mean. I mean, even then, but then you might see him rested in some games just against a way lesser opponent. Okay, but then I think really interesting 2-8 Hugo Ekatike goes, which Enzo brought it up before we started recording, but his ADP right now is in like the 40s. So for him to go here is pretty darn early, I think, as well. And I again, it's just like it's being really optimistic, right?
Is that the person who picked him because he picked Florian Wirtz in the first round? Is he just a Liverpool fan?
I'm not sure.
No, sure.
That's a good point. I think it's just
it looks like it.
Yeah, I mean, when you pick two of the players from the same team, the first two rounds, I
definitely would have got João Pedro before Ekatike.
But I also think that then Nate, our buddy Nate, who's been on the pod before, he picked from the 4 spot. He went Holland in the first round. And he went João Pedro in the second round. I mean, to me, that's just such an interesting decision when there are some solid midfielders still out there, and then like João Pedro there's a chance that he comes back to you. I just don't really feel like I mean, maybe I'm totally wrong, but I just feel like him going in the second round, he's starting to go. That's starting to be way too early for him, in my opinion. Just not knowing. I mean, we've seen him play like 3 games or 2.5 games for Chelsea. Like the amount of games he's played for Chelsea is so little.
You know what it is? It's every year when someone has a good World Cup, especially they play well in the final.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's literally what happened. You have a final, you have to score 2 goals against PSG. Like
we scored 1 goal against PSG, but yeah.
One goal. They crowned the best player. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean
it's the hype train.
It's totally the hype train. I think Ekatike is the same way though. Like, Liverpool bias aside from pick 5. But I still think like between both of them, I just feel like sometimes you just have to be a little more reasonable with picks,
Yeah.
And it's not as sexy. Obviously Phil Foden goes in the 210, which again is a little early for me. But Dwight McNeil at 211, at that point, that's starting to feel like a steal from the 2.
That's a fucking steal right there.
And then Matoma 212. And so Sergey did something kind of interesting where I feel like there's a lot of pressure to go get a forward in your first 3 rounds. Mm-hmm. And Sergey opted for, he got Saka on the first, and on the 2-3 turn, he got Matoma and Kudus. I wonder if that's partially because he just didn't feel like he had a reach. I mean, I think part of it is that in the, when it gets to him, there's 3 guys. So he's the last one to pick in the second round. And there's 3 guys that have gone forward in the first 2 rounds. So I think that kind of limited his attacking options. But I also think that it was smart of him to not reach. to not
Yeah,
be like
he's-
not to panic and be like, oh, I need to like reach for Pedro Neto here. Instead, he went with who he thought were his best mids.
honestly, if you look at those midfielders and their capabilities and their ghost point capabilities, it ain't fucking bad, is it? Those three.
Yeah, I think I don't mind it either. And I also think like what we forget, and I think there's like this little bit of like people talk about forward scarcity. They've been talking about that a lot this year, and obviously there's slightly less scarce now with Gyökeres and Ekitike in, but also that you forget that you only need to start one forward. So it's like that can be your one forward could be your fifth best worst player on the team. Your fifth best player on the team. You could have 4 great mids and then have like a guy that that would be the equivalent of having like a midfield 4 or something. So I think that sometimes the need to fill positional holes sometimes gets like makes people make bad decisions, and that's kudos to Sergey.
Classic pun. I know.
For just sticking with who his like best available was and going
to play devil's advocate though, like forwards
Tiko
are the
just
ones
couldn't
that
handle it.
Yeah,
need to shut me down.
But it's like forwards is known that forwards get you the most points.
Biggest pop, right?
Guys,
biggest boom, guys.
He's auto drafted. He just made his list, and I'm sure if there were probably forwards on there that were already drafted.
I think he said that he would have done this. He said he would have drafted the same way.
He said, but Sergey would say that though, if I could be honest. He'd gaslight the fuck out of us.
What?
Okay, I mean, I don't know. I still think
I'm still
like it though. So maybe the computer saved him, but I also think I think that was the right decision though in that spot.
I love how Sergey backed out.
Tiko, what do you think? Do you not agree? Do you think that he should have reached for a forward? Do you think he should have reached for Pedro Neto?
No, absolutely not. I'm in the mindset you shouldn't reach. Just take the best player that's available.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just saying, like, Jesus, let's not praise him that much. It was a fucking auto draft.
Sergey needs to chime in. Chime in, Sergey. Speak to us. Speak.
Come on, Sergey.
Come on, say something.
Can't hear you. If you're saying something, we can't hear you.
Okay.
He's got quiet.
He's got shy. He got shy.
Yeah, he got shy.
All right, so I thought this was also interesting too. I think this is way too early for Doku, unless you got some insider info about what next going on there. Yeah, so I think that kind of threw things off then, because then pick 3 gets Anthony Gordon, who I think at the turn I'm really liking. I think if you can get Anthony Gordon at that 2-3 turn, that's starting to represent some really, really good value. So getting him at 3-3 is amazing. Enzo Fernandez, same thing at 3-4. Nate picked that up. I knew Nate was just like giddy probably when he saw that. He was stoked.
Probably knowing Nate.
Yeah.
If you look at his first 3 picks, like, don't get me wrong, Haaland or João Pedro's tasty, and Enzo Fernandez is a slight risk, but not really after seeing his tournament.
Yeah, I think he'll be fine. I mean, as long as Maresca's there, I think he's going to be a totally good attacking option.
We like Anthony Gordon a lot more without Isak, right?
I like Anthony Gordon either way. I mean, Anthony Gordon was really good 2 years ago. Last year, he was on pace to have a really, really good season before an injury and then an ill-timed red card really derailed his end of season. But before that, like he was a little bit of a slump after the Euros, which a lot of players were, and then he absolutely was going off for a while there, and then he dropped.
And they put him to sleep. Literally put him to sleep.
Yeah, but then they haven't got anybody on that role besides Harvey Barnes, so his spot's pretty safe. Barnes is the backup.
Barnes is definitely the backup, but like I mean, Barnes is a good backup. Like if
very
Gordon,
good backup.
If, it's not like they're gonna rush Gordon back if anything happens, if he gets injured or anything. But
exactly.
But I still think I don't think there's any concerns that that Barnes is gonna take that spot long term from Gordon.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I like that. Then we get to Pedro Neto 3-5. Man, people are loving him, and I really do like Pedro Neto, but sometimes I feel like him and João Pedro both are going a little early just from the Club World Cup stuff. I really do, and that's as a Chelsea fan.
But last year he finished the year pretty strong, though.
He did finish the year strong. You're totally right. But I just think that like Cole Palmer can play out there. We have that new Esteban William guy. I just like I'm not like as excited. Like I think he can be really good. He's also not an out striker, and so so it's just like there's a few different things about it that make me a little nervous, especially if you're striker 1. Like, and for this case, pick 5 had picked up Ekitike the round before, so you're talking about striker 2, but still,
still it's uncertainty for his forwards. He's
3-6
definitely playing one up front.
Morgan Rogers. I think we are all a little gun shy on Morgan Rogers, right?
Mm-hmm. I like Morgan Rogers. Do I think it's maybe slightly too early? Maybe, but I do like Morgan Rogers.
3-7. Dominic Solanke goes off the board. Enzo, were you hoping that he would drop to you in the 3-9?
Yeah, I was hoping I'd get him at 3-9, but it didn't happen. I think he can score some goals this season in this Thomas Frank system. So I think that's a nice pick, honestly, for your forward two. It's not bad.
3-8 Declan Rice feels early a little bit, but I think that's kind of where he's going, right? That's kind of his ADP.
Yeah, if Arteta has him playing that false 10, he's going to be great.
I forgot about your false 10 thing. Declan Rice ADP right now is 32.1, so that's actually not far away from where he is. That's wild.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. Yeah, people are all on the false 10 train, Enzo.
Yeah, false 10, man. I'm telling you.
And then Enzo, I don't know. Did you love this pick? Enzo had Johan Wissa 3-9.
It was between Wissa and Elanga, and the only thing I thought of was I like Wissa at Brentford, and I still think I don't think Brentford's going to be terrible this season. Can I be honest? I know they lost Thomas Frank, but they got a manager that was already there before as an assistant. They still got Damsgaard in there. They still got some key components. I still think he's going to be more relied on. And Elanga to me I'm still unsure if he's going to be our star first few weeks of the season with Murphy there. So that's what I was thinking.
Tiko, what do you think about this pick?
I'm not that high on Wissa. You could have had your boy Iwobi or Gamma. I wouldn't have gambled with Savio there, but I'm high on Elanga. I know there's a lot of unknowns, but I'm also I'm not a Wissa fan. I don't think he's going to be able to replicate the year he had last year.
And he has AFCON.
And he has what?
AFCON. Isn't he? No, is he? He is AFCON.
Well, he's a person. He's not AFCON, but I'll check where he plays.
Which one? Wissa? Wissa has AFCON.
Yeah. He plays for Congo.
All right. So then Elanga goes right after that. And then Savio. So this is actually, I will say that this is probably... Sorry. Savio goes, and this actually really threw me off because I was looking, so I'm on the 312 and I'm looking going, okay, I'm going to get either Iwobi or Damsgaard and have be like that as like a floor, like baseline player. And then I thought like, then I'll have Savio as like my high upside mid. And then I was like, I'll get two mids. It's like one on either kind of echelon, like that, the high floor guy and the high ceiling guy. And then when Savio went right before me, I kind of panicked and just went with two high floor guys, which is fine. It's not the end of the world, but I think in hindsight, I might have swapped out either Wilbur or Damsgaard for Yakuba Minta because I think Yakuba Minta was super good last year, and I really like him. He ended up going 4-6, and I knew he wasn't going to come back to me. But my thought would be that I would want his points per start were really high, and the only thing that held him back was a lack of starts. And when you look now at Brighton, a few players have left that were kind of in those positions. And it's Minta's second year kind of playing for that team. So I could see him getting trusted more and having more starts. And I feel like he has the potential to be a high upside guy, So I just feel like I probably would have, taking a step back and not panicking in the moment, I maybe would have maybe swapped a Wilby or Damsgaard for Minta there.
Still not bad picks, though.
No, safe.
Bad midfields. Yeah.
Safe picks. And I thought it was really interesting that this is the round 4 where we see a ton of defenders go. There was obviously no defender in round 1. Munez goes round 2. No defenders round 3, which is kind of rare. I think a lot of times you'll see Robinson or Porro go here. But in round 4, all of a sudden, it's Frimpong goes 4-2. Porro goes 4-4. Robinson goes 4-5. Van Dijk 4-7. Tarkowski 4-8. Wan-Bissaka 4-9. And Atnoy 4-12. So
don't you feel like Frimpong was a punt there, though?
It feels a little early. I think Pedro Porro and Anthony Robinson should both be going before Jamie Frimpong just because you just don't know. Like he could be backing up Mo Salah a lot. Connor Bradley's there. Like there's just too many that we don't really know that makes me feel that excited about that. But compared to when you have Robinson Porro still there.
I think the pick 11 is also doing a thing because all of their players are like extremely high upside, but very because Cunha, Omar Marmoush, Savio, and Frimpong now, you don't know what their role is going to be, if they're going to start or not. Essentially, all the stuff we're hearing about. So I think he's just taking like high risk and drafting those players. Even if you look at the future picks, which we'll go through, you can see like there's a trend.
Yeah, it's like a full send. It's like drafting to win, kind of like what Joe's talked about in the past. Totally. Enzo, for you, getting Pedro Porro 4-4 and opting to go ahead that instead of Anthony Robinson, what was the logic there?
Pedro Porro gets goals. I know Robinson got 10 assists last season. Honestly, he wasn't what I wanted to pick in this round. I was actually I wanted Yuri Tillemans, and he went right before my pick. So it just made like fantasy wise, like Ghost Point, like he gets goals, he gets assists, he gets down the field. If he can be anything like that Kyoto player that Thomas Frank had, I think he can still produce.
Coyote.
And after pushing Arteta off the touchline, like I even more respect. I'm glad I did it.
You was at the final. You saw that. You woke up this morning and saw that shove on Arteta, the chest shove on the touchline.
Get the fuck out of the way.
And then you're like, "This is my guy.
This is my guy."
I like it.
So I took him.
I like it. I personally would have got Anthony Robinson.
Well, you
By the
got
choice.
partial bias, Jedi Knight over there.
Yeah, and I think just stability, like same coach. You know, there's just more stability there. But like I think when we've looked at Porro's underlying metrics, and they're like insane. Like his underlying metrics were even better than how he finished last year. So
and they let in a ton of goals.
And they let in a ton of goals.
Mm-hmm.
Tiko, where would you go between the two?
I mean, you could look at as many stats as you want. There's only one stat that matters: the red, white, and blue.
Whoa! I did not think I was going to hear that from you, Tiko.
I would have gone Porro.
You would? You go Porro?
Yeah, I would have gone Porro. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, then I guess with the other thing that's interesting, we talked about all the defenders in this round. It just feels like I think in this round, defenders start to feel like a value. I think in the third, to me, all these guys start to feel like a little bit of a stretch. But in the fourth, I kind of feel better about all of them. The one to me that's a little wonky is Virgil van Dijk going ahead of Tarkowski and Wan-Bissaka and Adnori. I have him behind all three of those guys.
Mm-hmm.
All right, can we? So here's the case for Virgil. I feel like every year we talk about him and like he's not that good of a defender point wise, but I think we're just must be something about him. Maybe like we don't like him. Maybe we don't think he scores enough goals because he's been producing over 10 points. His worst year was 9.2, and he always starts. They get a lot of clean sheets, and he's very consistent. He's actually very similar to Tarkowski, just on a better team when you look at their production. So I think we're low on Virgil for no reason.
So last year he got 17th overall. The year before he got 25th overall. The year before that in 22-23
amongst everyone, right?
Overall.
Yeah, not just defenders. Yeah.
And then 21-22 he got 9th overall. So okay, you're probably right.
Oh yeah, but I'm just saying Tarkowski gets more of those ghost points, doesn't he?
Yeah, I mean he's a little busier.
So you would have.
So
I'm not saying he's a better defender.
Right.
He's a better fantasy point. Can you have a look at that, Tiko?
Tarkowski. I'll pull it up real quick. See if I can do it quickly. Okay, 21-22, he was 12th overall. 22-23, he was 17th overall. 23-24, he was 11th overall. Tarkowski's better, like as a fantasy asset.
As a fantasy asset, so you
24-25.
I would just
28
pick Tarkowski over Virgil, but it's still not a bad pick.
But Tiko's point still stands. I think that we've kind of been we kind of like poo-poo him a little bit when actually he sneakily is one of the better defenders in the league. But I still would rather go Tarkowski over. I see. I think you can make the argument Van Dijk over Wan-Bissaka just from
it's like a coin flip. It's not a huge difference between those.
I think that Tarkowski is a noticeable difference, but I think beyond that, maybe not as much as most of us think. I don't think Van Dijk doesn't get as much love as some of the other defenders, though. I think it's just probably not as sexy. Alrighty, after that, things start to move along. Sergey opts to not get a striker, probably because Gakpo, Shad go before, so he takes Adnori for 12, and then he turns around and instead of getting Chris Wood, Evan Nielsen, Mateta, Brennan Johnson, he goes for Alexi McAllister. I don't like that pick at all.
No, I don't like. That's the pick that I didn't like that he made.
Yeah,
that's the only one he made.
I just don't really get it.
It feels like I know we go for the best player, but now he's and don't get me wrong, I don't think he ended badly. I just feel like he could have went something different here.
I just don't even think that's the best player available.
The pick right after Madison.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's a definitely a high upside player. I think that's just like you have 3 such good mids. Why do you need to get like a boring 4th mid? Why not like go for it with like one of these attackers? Why not? Or if you are going to go for a mid, why not go for it with a mid as opposed to getting like a safe option? You have 3 studs. You have 3 mid studs. So to me, that doesn't really make a ton of sense. But yeah, so then Madison goes after that. Chris Wood after that. I think in the 5th, if Chris Wood keeps dropping, like where does he start to be valued to you guys?
7th round?
No,
6th. I think end of the 5th, 6th, all of a sudden I think he starts to be pretty good value.
He's not going to do the same thing.
He's definitely not going to do the same thing. But you're not drafting him to do the same thing in the 6th round. You're drafting him to get, what, 10 goals? 12 goals?
You think Evan Nilsson's going to do better than him this season?
his ADP
Mattel.
67.
Chris Woods is?
7th round.
That's starting to feel good.
Yeah.
That starts to feel good.
Mattel's going to score more goals than him. The only one there that I don't think is going to score more goals is Heung-min Son, and I think that's because he's going to fucking LAFC. So,
yeah, I mean, I like Evan Nilsson. I really like him, and I really like Bournemouth, and I think I've said it before, but I think he's like very system orientated. Like I think he's good in that team because Areola just knows how to get the most out of him. I'd be nervous if Areola left, but while he's there, I like it. I just don't. He needs the team around him to score goals. He's not going to do stuff on his own. You know. And then what about Martinelli now? Are we like? What?
I wasn't sure when this got picked. I wasn't sure.
Like, do you hate it or do you love it? Or so last season, Martinelli was dropping to the 3rd round, and he had returned good value on the 3rd round pick. I actually think.
So I think his value. He could be valued there with Gyökeres being there. That's someone else that he can get the ball to if he can get the ball to him and pull his head up and out his arse and actually look up to where he's moving the ball. That's my only thing. I know Arsenal fans hate this and they keep blah blah blah, but Noni Madueke should play on the left. You're gonna lose Trossard too, so Noni Madueke should play on the left.
I think Trossard got a really bad injury yesterday.
Did he?
Yeah, I don't know if he goes now. I have a feeling he won't go now because I think he might have tore something.
Honestly, at this round, there are still good players to take over Martinelli, but at the same time, like you are getting around those picks where Martinelli could be a very good value if indeed he does start on a regular basis.
I think if he's just starting in the 5th round, you're happy.
Yeah, if player of that caliber, because he'll go weeks with 0, 1, 2, but then he'll have those games that are like 20 points. 20
and he just he does enough. Like I think he's infuriating to watch, but he does get some points, and he does. When you have your head down all the time and you're just dribbling forward, occasionally you run by a guy.
The way you have to watch Martinelli is the same way he plays. Whenever he has the ball, just put your head down and just avoid it.
I love it. Okay, after Martinelli there's a couple of mids that go off the board. I'm not like a huge guy with all these. Kluivert, Sarr, Shirky, I think to me at 5'6", 5'7", 5'8". I think Shirky again represents a really high upside. Kluivert is so boom bust that I don't love it. Ismail Sarr had some really good moments, but
he's the only one that out of those 3 where I feel I think probably has the highest upside, being especially on the team he's on.
Ismail Sarr,
yeah,
I think he has the highest upside maybe because he might actually play every game. I think that with Shirky, you talk about individual on a game to game basis. I think he probably has the highest upside, right? When he's in start to start. 5'9", Enzo, you go Mateta. This is your 3rd forward, so you have 1 midfielder, 3 forwards, and a defender in the 5th round. But it's a good. I mean, I don't hate the pick. Mateta's a good pick.
I didn't hate the pick either. It was again. You see the players that came after. We'll hear about them, but you see the players that was around it. I was like, I sort of had Tiko in my ear saying, pick the best player that you needed right there and then, like whether you need him or not. So I picked up Mateta. It's not like I can't play 3 forwards if I wanted to. So,
you just can't play more than 3 forwards.
No.
Tiko, any thoughts?
No, I like Mateta. I'm a fan. Pick up the best player. Let's see, man. Just looking at that is your last forward. So yeah, you did get your 3rd forward, but then you didn't draft another one until then, so it kind of balances things out.
Yeah,
absolutely. I think it's obviously Mateta's value is really high as they say too. If he goes, it definitely drops off a little bit.
And I would say from here on, just looking at the remaining forwards, he does look like the one that's always going to start from the remaining ones, and the one that's probably going to be the highest points producing one. So it's like that you feel comfortable starting every game.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think maybe Søren Larsen falls into that category, but just for a team that with way less firepower.
Yeah, there's
So,
also Jimenez, but like, are you like that confident with him?
And this was definitely the last pick I got any compliments on.
I mean,
after
Tiko,
this,
I thought we were confident on Jimenez. I thought this was a us thing.
Oh, sorry, mate. You fucking.
Is this a me thing? Are you leaving me?
Like,
are you bailing on Jimenez?
Oh my god!
Okay.
Hey, I heard some more news. Did you some more personal news? You hear about it?
Some WAG news? Tell us.
Yeah. Delit broke up with his girlfriend. Is now with a brand new one that he was with for years.
Well, let me ask you this, Enzo, as the expert of this situation.
Okay.
So I'm very curious because Cole Palmer also went through a breakup, right? He's dating a new girl. So is the lab. As a team, do you think this will bond them together because they're at the same stage of the relationship, or will it create like, hey, whose girl's hotter, or like they're not getting along? So
I think they'll bond more if they're Eskimo brothers.
Whoa!
You know
but if
what I
it's a
mean?
serious relationship, you don't want a teammate to be an Eskimo brother.
But if the ones before Eskimos, they make
Okay,
Eskimo
But
brothers.
just before we move on, what if like the Lob's girlfriend says, hey, like Cole Palmer was a lot better than you or whatever, and then Cole Palmer refuses to pass the lab because
are we having like a John Terry situation?
Well, John Terry, Wayne Bridge. I mean, this sounds a little bit more like there's like an Arsenal fan is one of these girls, and she's trying to drive a wedge between the two of them. That's what
Do
it
you
sounds
guys
like.
That'd be such an Arsenal thing to do.
Do you guys think Cole Palmer does his celebration when he finishes or when the girl finishes?
It's right before.
Oh.
Honestly, he might be oblivious to the fact that like that the girl could finish.
No, he's
as
aware.
well. I don't know if he's aware or not.
Wait. Speaking, sorry, not to get too sidetracked here, but it's so amazing that there's this potential that Drake's naming his album Iceman after that Cole Palmer quote.
Oh my god,
that's gonna be if that actually comes to fruition. I just cannot wait to.
It's funny. I just saw a meme today of this. He's an Asian American guy, and he was talking about how now he's a football fan it's because it's Cole Palmer, and that he used to. And I should have said it to Tiko because I used to think this was Ice Trey, but no, it's
you
Ice
did send
Cole
it to
Palmer.
us. You sent it to us.
Oh, did I send it to you guys?
Yeah, because I watched it. I must have. Yeah, that was a very funny.
Great.
That was a funny bit. Okay, getting back on track. Shirky goes 5'8", Mateta 5'9", Milos Kirkes 5'10". I think my concern with Kirkes is that Robertson is still there. Like I was anticipating he was gonna leave, and like I know he's still gonna. I know Kirkes is probably still the guy, but like they're still gonna be like. You don't think Robbo gets games? Simcast is still there too.
Robertson's gonna get League Cups and fucking left center back role.
Wait, you do? Andy Robertson hasn't left yet?
No,
I thought. Yeah, that's.
I thought he was going to like.
Yeah, I thought he was leaving for sure. He's not gonna play.
Yeah. Do you think Kirkes is locked? Okay,
yeah, I'm not worried about Kirkes.
Brennan Johnson 5'11". I don't know. Like to me, they're just so uninteresting. It's just like it's just not worth it for me.
Because the position he plays, Kudus is now there. So where is he going to play?
I think especially for pick 11, when you're looking at his draft board, like I just feel like there's players I would have rather got when I already have two strikers there.
Yeah, like
if you're going to get two strikers early, was Brennan Johnson really what you need in the fifth?
And if you look at all three of his strikers, they're all Brennan Johnson's definitely the most uncertainty, but Cunha and Marmouche is again be like, ooh,
yeah,
they have to go off.
That's kind of what Tiko is inferring. Very high upside play. So then I'm at 5'12", and I get Ilman and Dijk from Everton. It's another mid. I really wanted to just make sure I had some stability there and not getting him in my first two rounds. I really like Ndai. I think the end of the fifth is like right at the cusp of where I feel comfortable drafting him. Any earlier than that, I'm not drafting him. I think there's better value out there, but I think there I'm okay with it, and especially knowing that I'm at the very end of the draft, and he's not coming back, and the midfield options when they come back are pretty scarce. I think the alternatives are going like Sloboslai, Bruno Guimaraes, Kulusevski. I like the upside of Ndai. I think Kulusevski, the injury, I just can't. I'm not drafting Kulusevski with the injury news right now. And then Sloboslai, I'm a little weary about what that's going to look like.
Especially if Isak comes.
Yeah, and then it looks like when they played a 4-2-3-1 when they played last, and so like, is he going to be playing in a deeper role? Which all of a sudden his points are a little sketchy. And then Bruno Guimaraes just not as much upside. solid, like much more solid player, but I kind of had to. I have two really solid guys, and it will be Damsgaard. I didn't need a third like high floor guy. You know,
Yeah,
like those like it will be Damsgaard are guys that like help you move. You know, but like they're not going to take you on a good night out partying. And I feel like Guimaraes is the same way. He's going to help you move. He's going to drive you to the airport. He's not a free tickets to the Lakers courtside type guy.
About?
You know what I mean? Points wise. You know what I'm saying?
I'm pretty sure he scores points though. Bruno G.
Do you like my metaphor? No. You think it's
it was good.
Keefe, one of these days you're going to need to move and everyone's going to be at a club. No one's going to be helping you out.
Are you telling me that all my friends are not? I don't have any low floor guys. I have all high ceiling friends.
all high ceilings.
And then with my 6'1", I went Lewis Hall. We talked about him last week. I think he represents the end of that of a tier for me as far as defenders go. So I was super happy to get him as my first defender off the board there. And I would have been pretty bummed if I didn't get him, to be honest with you.
Well, that was Nathan Collins still up. And
I would go Hall over Collins just with I think Collins, I don't know if you can do that again. Okay, so we're getting into the 6th round. Do you want me to walk through every single pick, or should I start kind of breezing through?
No, this should be the last round we do that one.
Okay, so Kulusevski goes 6'2". We talked about him, just injuries, nervous. Sloboslai, talked about, floor guy. Bruno Guimaraes, or potential floor guy now. Bruno Guimaraes, floor guy. Tavernier I kind of like, but I don't know about Bournemouth. Otara in the 6'6" right after. I'm just not 100% sure what that looks like for them. It looked like he was playing out left, but when you look at where he got a lot of his points last year, it was when he was playing striker when Evan Ilson was injured. So I'm not sitting here being like I just don't think. I think his numbers are a little bit inflated because of that.
And this one was interesting. The next one with Heung-min Son. This was his first forward he picked up.
Yeah. Oh, that is right with 6. And that's just weird. I mean, I think this team. I think there was maybe one auto draft and that was it, and that shows.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Because that just made no sense.
Sorry to rewind really quick. Enzo, what was your thought process? Sorry, you were the one that picked Bruno Guimaraes in 6'4". What was your thought process? You needed a mid at that point.
I needed a midfielder, and I need a midfielder I know that can be a little bit more consistent. I think Bruno's consistent. Newcastle's yes, he is. He's shaking your head.
He is. I mean, he averaged. He got like 45th last season.
Consistent is when they steadily put up those points, 8 or 9. He's a very roller coaster kind of player, up and down. But I love this pick, especially in the 6th round. This is a guy that was going in the first, second, or third round last year. And he plays every game, and the players that are on them don't. They're injury prone. So all you need is hoping someone gets injured, and Bruno's going to put up much better production.
This is my last pick that I was happy with.
Yeah.
It's a sad draft.
It's a bad
so, yeah. Okay, now it's jumping back to present. Song goes 6'7". He's not going to be in. I doubt that he's there.
I doubt it.
Elliot Anderson goes 6'8". He's still getting drafted. To me, he's still getting drafted. Morgan Gibbs White isn't going to be there.
Yeah.
I think he was someone that was kind of interesting in that regard, but suddenly not very interesting to me. Nate goes with Nathan Collins, 6'9". I just don't think he's going to be the same guy. I think when you look at Thomas Frank and Brentford, he always has one defender that just absolutely puts up beast numbers. Last year, Nathan Collins. The year before that, it was Ethan Pinnock. I just don't know. And Frank's not there anymore, and we just don't. There's this unknown commodity, which is this new coach. And I just don't know what that is. And so I feel like this is one of those trap defenders.
You think that will translate to Tottenham? They'll have one defender that puts up great points.
I mean, I think it's very possible. And I think that's kind of what Ryan was alluding to last week when he was talking about Christian Romero. So I think that's a very if you follow the news and follow the trends, I think that's a very trendy pick is Christian Romero a little bit later for that reason. So, yeah, Nate went with Collins and 6'10", Kai Havertz, the human bowling ball, Mr. Buff Daddy himself.
Dude, he put on all that fucking muscle for nothing.
He put on all that muscle to sit on the bench. Yeah, no, he actually looked pretty good in the game. Obviously not the game against Tottenham, but the game previous looked pretty good.
Got nutmegged by fucking Q Romero in the box.
But yeah, I think he had 2 assists. Yeah, I mean, he's obviously going to be playing a role for this team, and maybe 6 is getting to a point where maybe there's a place, but I think that you don't spend all that money on Gokaresh and not have him be your main man. So
he's going to start.
6'11", Carlos Alcaraz comes in. We talked about him briefly. I was pretty excited about him earlier in the season, but with some of the comments from Moyes and this Malik Fofana news and stuff like that, I'm a little anxious on.
Yeah.
Just because it sounds like that they want to bring in a bunch of players. And if they bring in a bunch of players, I don't know where Alcaraz lives. And then it's Sergey's up, and he is in the 6-12, and he goes Coyote. So he still hasn't picked up forward in the 6. And then then on the turn 6-12, 7-1, he goes finally gets his first form with Liam Delap.
Is it good value there? I think so. I think he's going to get minutes. Is he going to play every game? No. As your forward one, are you happy? I wouldn't be. I'll be honest. Would you?
No.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of games where he doesn't play. There's gonna be a lot of games where he gets subbed in like the 75th minute, and maybe gets a goal and contributes, but
he's on your bench.
Yeah. So I think now we can take a step back and let's look at the rest of these drafts as like from construction standpoint. And this is a really good spot to do that because while at this point in the draft, I was kind of chuckling at Sergey for not having a forward until this. I actually think he did a pretty good job of recovering. So then 8-12, he goes Ian Matson, which is solid defender. I think there's a lot of upside there. Obviously some risk, but is what it is. And then 9-1, he goes Barry, which is again to me is like a Liam Delap type situation, right? Where it's he has the potential to play, but like there's no guarantee he's going to be getting a ton of starts. And then 10-12, Igor Thiago, I think he's pretty likely to get a lot of starts. We don't know what the quality of the starts are going to be because we haven't seen a ton of him and we haven't seen Brentford as new coach, but the amount of money they spent on him, he's pretty likely to get a lot of starts. And what I think is interesting then is he goes Somerville, and then I actually really like this pick, this 12-12 Fulkrug pick, because I think that actually then suddenly his attacking 4 feels like you can at least start one of them every single week. Like one of them is going to be playing every single week because Fulkrug is like what's his name? Antonio left West Ham.
Antonio.
Fulkrug lost like 10 pounds coming into this year, so he looks a lot like more fit than he did. And he scored a pretty good goal yesterday against, I forget who they're playing against, Everton. And
but
so it might be a good year. You know?
Yeah, but he got 4 strikers because of exactly what you said.
Because he needs but it's going to be a lot of exactly. He needs the cover. But I think like that was like he has 2 guys that are like very big upside players, and I think he has 2 guys that are probably going to be starting games that you can always fall back on if Barry and Delap aren't starting. So I think from a construction standpoint, I'm not that mad at it.
Honestly, from when you're looking at the construction standpoint, from the forwards he has, any of those forwards that have a start, you feel comfortable playing them.
Yeah.
So,
but are you comfortable that they're going to be able to score points? Do they even produce?
Well, I mean, when
points?
I say comfortable playing, I mean in the sense that you're okay with them being your forward one because they're not going to be a dud. So I think from production, again, he didn't get a forward until the 7th round. When we're considering after that the forwards he got, I think as long as they're starting, if from 4 of those one of them is bound to be started that game week, I think you're okay with it. You're not like, oh, holy shit, what am I going to do?
Yeah, but it gives me a heartburn just thinking who's your best forward out of those 4.
But kind of like what I was saying earlier, like who cares who your best forward is? If you think about it, like that's my 5th best player. My forward 1 is my 5th overall best player. So he doesn't need to be that great. He just needs to be like serviceable. You know, and then maybe you strike gold with one of these guys. Maybe Barry gets the starts right away at Everton, and all of a sudden you're in a really good position. Maybe Delap is all of a sudden starting a lot more, and João Pedro's playing off the left, and all of a sudden then you're sitting in a really good position.
Yeah.
So I think at the end of the day, I liked the strategy. I think it was really risky, and like it wasn't necessarily.
There's a lot of risk.
Yeah,
I hear you. There's a lot of upside too, and don't get me wrong, his midfield and his defense actually looks really good for point wise. So he'll be fine.
So then kind of interestingly, team 2, what they kind of did a thing where they kind of really skewed defenders, and like Kuiper is his first defender off the board in the 8th round. And it's just, I think we all are sympathetic to not like to being like, oh, there's defenders that like the replacement level of defenders is high. You can get pretty good defenders off waivers and stuff, but like not having a defender until now. And then the defender you pick is someone who's like very much known in quantity and like isn't necessarily guaranteed to start a bunch of games and whatever. Like I feel like that is a little bit tight. And then Chris Richards I like. Spence is good then. And so then look at any of the other teams stick out to you. I think we'll go through Nate's and then Enzo's and mine, and we can kind of just call it. What do you guys think?
I'm not gonna lie, I like Nate's team.
So he's striker, midfield. He's pick 4.
Pick 4.
striker, midfield, defender, striker, defender, and then to me, there's such a gap of midfielders, and you have to start 3. But I do like this. I do like the 7-8-9 that he did.
Yes.
That's kind of what you're saying. I think like
Yeah.
where you got these guys, like great. But I think the risk you run here is that like 2 of these guys, maybe 2 of these guys pop off and have good seasons, and one of them is a bust, right?
Yeah.
Then you're still scrambling to get like 1 or 2 more defenders that are serviceable. You know what I mean? Like I feel like like the way that this team is constructed, you're going to be light in the midfield unless you just bat 1,000, which is tough.
I just realized you got 2 goalkeepers again.
Yeah. Oh, actually, so I was texting with Nate. What happened to him is I think right around round 10, he was driving and drafting, and he got pulled over.
He got pulled
over.
Got
pulled over. Yeah, I forgot to tell you guys.
I'm sorry, Nate.
So he put his phone down, and I guess the guy just gave him a warning for being on his phone. But then after that, he was like, "Okay, I guess I'm just gonna auto draft."
Did he let the police officer know that he's the defending champion? Is that why they let him slide?
Yeah, that must be it. It must be it.
Like, I gotta show these kids what to do.
Like you're looking at his midfield. Adingra, Weaver, and John Arias. You said 2 out of 3 of them, but then he still has Enzo Fernandez up there too.
Yeah, but I'm saying like you really need what you have to start 3.
Yeah.
So, but I'm saying is that like you really need like at least 4 serviceable midfielders, 5 probably to really in your team. And I don't know.
Nice.
It just feels a little light. Feels a little light.
Maybe in a 10-man league, 12-man league, stretching it.
Yeah. I also think I don't mind the Wan-Bissaka in the 4th. We talked about the Collins pick. I think Branthwaite and Digne is interesting. I mean, I just don't know where he's going to get starts. I think Maatsen was getting starts by the end of the season last year.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then it's hard to judge everything after that because I think that was all.
Yeah, it's all throwaway picks at some point. All right.
I'm kind of looking at these other ones. I think 6, 7. Pick 2 or 8. He was a nice dude in the chat. I'm blanking on his name right now, but I kind of like his construction. I like Bowen, Gibbs White, Solanke, Minta there. I think like I kind of get lost in his team a little in those mid rounds. It's like 5 to 8. 5 to 9.
That's like his hipster picks all the way down.
Yeah, I think he's drinking too much of the Discord Kool-Aid. Too much of the Discord Kool-Aid a little bit.
Did you guys see his goalkeeper?
Kepa.
Yeah.
Beckham. But I do like this Hume guy. There's been a lot of hype about him, but he's also like a very hipstery pick. And I like Bellegarde. Yeah. Delict, you were saying that
he just broke up with his girlfriend, got a brand new one.
So big red flags there, or maybe green flags. Actually,
well, maybe you never know.
You know what the breakup thing is, Enzo, indicative of, and it might be a hindsight thing. Like, man, maybe they were going through really tough times before, and then when they break up, maybe the breakup's like now it's time to go for them because now it's like they're not in this like toxic relationship anymore. For all we know, maybe the breakup is like the green light.
Yeah, you're hoping for that, not the Enzo Fernandez one. You know what I mean? It's not like
that was talking about. That was the best one. He left his wife and started absolutely balling out.
Yeah, but then he got back with her because he was you heard his reasoning.
And he was balling out after too. So whatever worked.
Let me tell you, boys. After my last relationship ended, I had an amazing 6 months after.
Yeah, I think everything. You're just walking around, you're finding money on the ground. People are shaking your hand. You're kissing babies. You're feeling great.
I was finding a lot of money, and when I mean money. Talking about
that's enough.
Okay, got it.
Okay.
No fornication. What's wrong with you, man? It's a family show.
Okay,
man.
Yeah. Bleep that out, Sergey. We don't need that.
Fucking family show, man.
All right. Enzo's team construction. I think after the 6th round is where things just got a little wonky for you, Enzo. What was the Jacob Murphy in the 7th? What was happening there?
I got Jacob Murphy because I was panicked. I like Jacob Murphy though, so it was a name I recognized and a name I liked and a name I've been talking about a lot, and I still think he's going to start the first few games of the season. At least he's going to try to hold his position. So I like Jacob Murphy.
And can I pick your brain a little bit when it comes to drafting? How much time did you guys have to make the picks?
45 seconds.
45 seconds. At what point do you start thinking about who you're going to take?
The round before.
So the round before, you have an idea of how many people you're gonna like the people you want, right?
I'm trying to guess and see where everyone's landing. And then,
So-
yeah.
All right. And
So, go on.
how do you panic if you know who you're going to draft? Or
Because
if
they
you
get
have an
picked
idea
up.
of the players?
Because they get picked up before.
Yeah,
mine.
I think that's what he's saying.
I get it. But if you're like second round or whoever it is, you know there are certain people who are going to go for sure, right?
For sure. But in this one, honestly, there was people getting picked up that I didn't. They got reached on. Like I was gonna reach maybe 5 picks before. They were reaching a whole fucking round before.
All right, that was my question.
Okay.
Just to backtrack real quickly, I think Raul Jimenez 7-8 is great value.
Great value.
Great value. But okay, but back to Enzo. Nikolenko,
I need a defender.
but like that's the
He
defender
scores
you want to go
points.
for?
He scores points.
I think like some of the I mean
But then I got Christian Romero.
I like that one.
Yeah,
But then I think
that was the next round.
then what the hell happened? You're taking a keeper in the 10th. What the
Yeah,
hell happened
panicked.
there?
Who was it that I wanted in this round? There was someone I wanted that got picked up. I think it was Matthias Tell. And it came round and I just started panicking.
Wait, no,
Yeah, 9-11.
it's the other way around. Yeah.
No, that's right.
No,
Tell
that's
went,
right.
But
Oh,
he
Tell,
had
Tell, got
1,
it.
2, 3, 4.
And
He
then
had a few picks
I
to
wanted
make a decision.
Tell, and then no, panicked.
I just think that for all the listeners out there, do not draft a goalkeeper until like I don't even know, the 12th, 13th round.
But to
Last
be honest,
round,
if you're gonna pick one, pick the one that I picked.
Yeah.
No. Pope.
No,
Pope, they're trying to buy goalkeeper.
trying to get rid of. Yeah, they're trying to get rid of Pope.
goalkeeper. I'm nervous.
Don't
about
fucking
Pope.
listen to Tiko. You don't know what the fuck he's talking about. I can't even pronounce names. All right, keep going.
How are you going to say that about our Holy Father?
I would have. I mean, I think you could have happily gone defender here, like Dorgu. I kind of really like. He had a, he's good. I think. Actually,
You know what
Chris
also is? I
Richards,
went back to back goalkeepers, and I didn't want to go 3 for some reason. In my head, it didn't
You
make
mean
sense.
back-to-back defenders?
Sorry, yeah, back to back defenders. I should have. Honestly, you're right. I should have went to either Dorgu or fucking Branthwaite. I would have fucking preferred.
Should have got a
mean-
Nico Jackson.
At
No,
that
that
point,
was
too-
on there. That was
Yeah.
on there, but I was like, it's just I don't know if he's going to be on the bench for Chelsea or somewhere
or
else.
the star
No
of
idea.
Newcastle.
Or on the
Uh-huh.
bench for Newcastle.
No, he's not gonna be on the bench for Newcastle. What was I gonna say? I mean, and then okay, this one to me is almost worse than the Pickford one. Going Ryan Gravenberch at 11-9.
Don't even ask me, man.
Like
don't even ask
he's literally below replacement level. Like you can find better guys off waivers than Ryan Gravenberch.
There was 2 Arsenal players there, and I didn't want them.
Okay, but there's a whole list of like you.
Yeah,
you literally,
no, I know.
Enzo, were you even referencing your rankings that you made?
I was no.
So I didn't want to bring this up, but now since you did, I will. He has Anthony Robinson ranked ahead of Porro, and not by like a little bit, significantly ahead of him.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Enzo wasn't looking at his rankings, and it's so
I wasn't
clear.
looking. It's very clear.
But
Let's keep going.
so I think like Enzo represents like the like a little Icarus.
prepared.
He's kind of Icarus, yeah. Like flew you out of the sun. He's getting burned.
The funny thing is,
Careful, Icarus.
Thought
he
he
does-
didn't need it.
yeah, he does mock drafts and he practices this.
I did
and he
one.
still
This is my first mock draft.
this year, and you still like somehow.
Fucking, this is my first mock draft this year. It changes.
It does change. Tico wouldn't know.
'Cause
Tico.
he doesn't do
Oh
it.
yeah, I think you guys we didn't talk about this. I meant to talk about sorry, but Tico famously refuses to mock draft. He just refuses to do it. It's kind of like a super. It's like he's like one of those Native Americans who refuse to get their photo taken because they think it
But-
steals his soul. He
But
doesn't. He doesn't.
He's
mock
been
draft.
not doing
Yeah.
mock drafts since the very beginning.
At
This
any
time-
sport.
All of a sudden-
Any sport.
This is the first. Don't get me wrong. He won a championship last year. We'll give him that. But he didn't win the other 2 years. that
All
we
right,
played.
No, it wasn't even
Um,
close.
I have a 33% chance of winning it, statistically speaking.
25% because we did have a year before
Uh,
where I won it.
All
I
right,
don't.
Keefe,
What year?
what are you talking
Dude,
about?
We can't
Okay,
keep doing
now
this,
that
Keith.
These guys are lying. They're lying.
Stop
making
They're
shit
lying
up,
to the
Keith.
world.
Come on.
Okay.
We don't remember who was in that league.
I do. I remember.
Who?
I remember.
Name
everyone.
every single member.
I don't. We're not gonna get into this right now, guys. Let's move forward.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay. Then Mazraoui, I don't mind. Munesi, I don't mind. Baleba's another one. Like, why are you drafting CDMs? Mourinho, you could start like
Marino.
Mourinho, Gravenberch, and Baleba. You that's the toughest team I've ever heard in my life, but not in
They're
like a cool
hardcore.
fantasy way.
They're gonna be good. They're
Okay.
gonna be good.
So that's Enzo's team.
If this was your actual team and we're playing, the last at least 6 or 7 of these players you would draft. You would drop.
I'd probably drop.
Yeah. Before the season starts.
I've already not before the season starts. But let's be serious here. All right, it's a mock. It's a learning experience, and I've learned a lot.
You learned a lot.
I've learned a lot. I can tell you right now, I will definitely have a queue, and I will be using Draft Society plug, the site that I've got the membership, to help me with this.
Do you know how to use the queue?
Do you know how to use the Draft Society website?
Are you able to? Do you know how to open 2 windows at the same time?
I've done that. Remember, I've got a couple screens.
He's going to print the rankings, so he could just go out mark it.
He's going to write it by hand. That's what he has his notepad. He's going to write it by hand.
He's going to write everything, just go through it. By the time he goes up and down his rankings, like auto pick.
Oh God.
Okay, so hop over to me. So we left me. I was at Lewis Hall. Come back around 7:12. Gabriel's there. I really actually like that pick. I think he's still a good, solid defender. I think the injury kind of dampened him down last year, and he was scoring some good goals at the beginning of the year. This one I don't love. Reinders. Excuse me. I almost thought about reaching for Weaver here. And I just felt like it was a little bit of a reach, and I just thought like Reinders might have some upside. But in hindsight, I maybe should have just bit the bullet and reached for my guy. I would have been happy with either Arias or Weaver, both guys that Nate got in the next round, which I was kind of kicking myself for. But yeah, Dan Burn was just safe. Didn't feel like great about it.
Yeah,
I love this Grealish pick.
Again, it's just what ifs.
It's a total what if.
Yeah,
it's a total what if.
I'd rather take Grealish than your last pick from 10 on down, which was the same round. I don't know why I'm taking a shot at you. But yeah, the upside of Grealish is much better than Pickford, Gravenberch, Mazrui, Monetti, Baliba, Merino, and Lopez. Yeah.
Why did you mention all my picks right now?
Because he's saying
because those are the teams you're going over. Yeah, I would take Grealish over all those players I named.
Okay.
Murphy as well.
Shut the fuck up.
It's a kid show.
I really like Gusto this year. I think it's more because I think there's potential for him to have some really big games. I don't know if he's going to be starting all the time, and it might just be like one of those things where it's a little bit of a Chelsea bias, but I've been finding myself taking him in a lot of drafts. I've been ranked higher than most people do.
This is the pick that fucked me.
Last year or the round?
No, the next one that Keefe took.
James Ward-Prowse? Is that what you wanted?
I was looking for him, and then you took him.
Yeah, I mean, I think in the 12th, it's kind of easy. I think I maybe could have gone. I think I might have gone Somerville just as like an upside play, but Ward-Prowse is solid. Not mad at it. Daniel James, I don't know. I was kind of having fun. I think it was, who knows? Like his numbers from the championship are pretty damn good. I think a lot of people think of him as the Man United failure, and maybe he's matured and grown up. And then Tiko, what did you think about me getting Gustavo Willian in the 14th? That was my striker 3.
That's amazing. That is, I mean, he's probably going to disappoint, but I'm high on him.
I knew you were. I knew Tiko was going to be judging this draft, so I really picked him just for you.
I did not believe one word you said there, Tiko.
That's true, though. He's being factual.
Amazing.
No, getting him at the 14th round, a player who could potentially be the starting right wing for Chelsea.
The right wing, okay.
Right.
It's the other 5 players out there. No, you're right. You are so sincere.
All
right, who's his competition? Who's his competition?
Pedro Neto.
No, I'm not talking to you, Keefe. I know you know.
Okay.
Pedro Neto.
All right.
Palmer. Gittins.
Okay.
Plays on the left.
They can all play there.
No,
is Palmer going to play on the right?
They can all play there.
Gittins it does not play on the right. Gittins plays on the left.
He can play there.
You're just saying stuff.
Yeah, if you're just going to say that, but. My point being, it's the upside is there, and at the last 3-4 rounds, that's all you're trying to do. Draft on upside. Although you said you drafted him to pander to me, I'm disappointed none of you guys picked up Oscar with 2 Bs.
I was close, man. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Tiko, I didn't just draft him to pander to you. I also thought I have 2 amazing starting strikers, and so let's say if 2 months into the season, if Estevao all of a sudden starts popping off, I can afford to have him on the bench for a while because I have 2 guys I know I'm going to start week in, week out.
Yeah.
So that was the logic there. And then I went Trippier in the 15th just because Livramento is hasn't been the most amazing thing ever, and Trippier's still there. And I thought he was going to be gone. And if he gets starts, I think he's pretty startable still.
You already got 4 defenders too, so it's not bad.
Yeah, that too. Yeah. All right, that's the draft. Tiko, I mean, between let's do. What's your favorite team between the four of us, me, Enzo, Sergey, and we can add Nate in that. And then what's your favorite team from the non us as well?
All right, so let's go through by the process of elimination. And I know, no surprise to you, you would agree with me this time around as well.
I would agree with you this time around.
I like Keefe. I just don't like let me see. Let me look at Nate.
I'd like Nate if he didn't have 2 goalkeepers, and if he didn't core draft, he would have fucking been on it, bro.
I worry about his midfield. I worry about Nate's midfield.
But I'm not worried about his forwards or his defenders.
So I would have to go as the best one, Sergey.
Even with the defense, okay.
With the lack of strikers, just because when looking at your team, Keefe and Enzo's, your first round pick is not someone who's going to average around 20 points a game. Saka's probably going to be hovering around there, like 15 to 20 points. In the midfield, he has strong midfielders. You guys know I'm very high on Nori as a defender. I'm high on Bari as a striker. And then on the bottom of his list, the players he took a gamble on, there's a lot of upside as well. So the strikers is a weak point for him, but overall, like he does have later on, he has the most upside. And then I'll go with your team, Keefe, because I do like the first 4 or 5 rounds, the players you have, and also you got my boy from Chelsea and Kieran Trippier. It's an amazing gamble, obviously. And then it goes Nate, and then and your team. It's you weren't terrible in the first 5-6 rounds.
I was gonna say I agree.
It's really the back half.
Yeah, it's the back half.
Yeah,
it's
where panicking.
And I think you also love names. I've noticed that about you. Like in fantasy, you love the big names.
Name recognition.
Yeah.
Tiko, okay, what about from the non-us, the random drafters? Who do you...
let me go through it. Did Welbeck get drafted?
No.
Doesn't look like it. Wow.
Yeah. And that's one of your guys too. So it's...
Yeah, I didn't need a striker.
Okay. Let's see this. I think the 6th round pick is good as well, except Son kind of messes it up.
Pick 6?
I think that, yeah.
That was the auto draft.
Was it auto draft?
Yeah. So he doesn't...
I mean, auto draft knows what it's doing sometimes, because they're pretty solid. You mean not the entire was it the entire team or just...
That was that. I think that guy was an entire...
The entire team was all drafted.
Got it. All right. I think I like that team the most.
Damn.
Yeah.
Insult to everyone in the draft.
Fuck you. Let's do another mock. I'll be more prepared next time.
Enzo, you're running out of time. You're running out of time here, man.
We can do a mock next week. We talk about it.
What?
You want to do another mock episode, a mock review?
No, fuck that. I just want to do a mock for myself. You know what? I don't need you guys. I'll do my own.
Yeah, you can do your own. We can talk really briefly, news and notes. This is going to be a long one, so I don't want to get too into it. But I think the biggest things are confirmed today. Here we go. Paulinho to Tottenham from Bayern.
Yeah,
I don't think he's particularly relevant from fantasy, but I would maybe upgrade. I mean, if I was really trying to get like nuance with it, I'd maybe upgrade some of the Tottenham defenders, because having a really good holding midfielder might just help them with clean sheets and that maybe. I mean,
agree.
If you're trying to look for some sort of angle for fantasy.
Yep. We just spoke about it. Jed Spence looks like he's going to be starting the season. Looks like Udogie got injured again, so that's another one to look at.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point too. So the Udogie injury, all of a sudden that becomes a lot more. There's a lot more clarity there for Jed Spence. So I start to like him more and more in the later rounds. It's just like a late round flyer.
Keefe, any fantasy relevance to the player Chelsea got?
Hato? I think he's going to mostly play backup for Cucurella to start. He's really young. He's really highly regarded and really exciting, but I just don't really see a world where he takes that position away from Cucurella. The other nice thing about him is he can play center back as well. So maybe there might be some spot starts in there if Colwell needs a break, and then we actually have a left footer to go in there as opposed to having like bad issue. So I don't think it's going to be like draft relevant. Maybe some more stream relevant down the line.
And then I don't know if you guys saw, Wolves got a left back, David Moller Wolf. It's a Norwegian player.
Yeah, he's from Wolf. Yeah.
Oh wow. And do we know anything about? I don't really know anything about that one. Do we know anything?
Don't really know too much about it, but it's just when Wolves picks up a player, I feel like them and Brian are the ones where if they pick up a player, they could start, and if they do start, they can get points. There's always an option.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so he is replacing Atnori, and I think wing backs have a lot of value with the crosses and all that stuff. So might be like last round towards the end if you need to pick up a defender, you want to take some risk. Might have a good potential. Wolves are probably going to be bad, but he might still generate points.
Yeah, I mean, Atnori was kind of special, but I think what we saw at the end of the season with Wolves was that they started to keep more clean sheets.
Mm-hmm.
So I think
can they do that again though?
Yeah, that continues, and yeah, I think there might be some value there for sure.
Ekatike, even with Isak not even at Liverpool yet, seems to be dropping. Like I think he's 5th round now, isn't he? ADP.
No.
So
Really?
He was at 42 on the ADP.
Really?
Also,
I think it's
Sesko.
the Isak news, right? That's what's
Yeah,
driving
yeah.
them.
It's
That's
the
what's
Isak
driving
news, and then there's news that Manchester United are going to go after Benjamin Sesko, so Newcastle has some competition there.
And Nicholas Jackson going to Newcastle seems more and more adamant.
Fucking called it.
You did.
Well, that
Fucking
would be
do
like would that be the largest drop off from season over season from striker to striker?
No, absolutely not.
No, I don't think so. But it's also like this is the most movement.
Maybe for your agenda, Tiko. Would you just think
No,
of a really funny one?
And Harry Kane to Richarlison.
Oh, that's
Oof.
pretty bad.
That's pretty fucking bad. Shit. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Yeah,
Okay,
no, I
and
can't
other
think
than
of
that,
a
I mean,
worse
just some other weird rumors floating around. The Garnacho to Chelsea's still there. I mean, I think the Sesko thing is going to be the big one, and let's see who blinks first. I guess United or Newcastle there. But
Simmons still on his way to
yeah, that's
Chelsea
still floating
too.
around. I mean, it kind of lost a little bit of noise, but it's still in the works. So who knows? I think okay. So really quickly, just without like a ton of info, if we were just going to squeeze Sesko and Simmons into drafts, where do you think they're going roughly?
God, you get with Sesko, it's another Man United player going in the fucking top 20
Potentially, yeah.
potentially.
I think I'm more excited with him at Newcastle, right?
Who Sesko going to
Yeah.
Newcastle? Yeah, you would be, but it doesn't look that way. It looks like Man United's about putting
More likely they're more in the driver's seat.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at the mock draft that we have on the screen on the third round. There are some players that I would probably rather gamble with Sesko than the players that were selected in the third round, just based off of upside.
Oh yeah, definitely a third
I think
round.
fourth. I think I'd rather take Alenga, Wissa, Solanke, Neto strikers. I think when you're getting into like I would maybe go Sesko over Chris Wood.
Maybe if you look at by position, yeah. But I'm just talking about just the player overall.
Yeah. But I think from a positional standpoint, like I might go Sesko over Brendan Johnson. From a forward standpoint.
No, I'd easily go over
easily.
Yeah. Okay. So then I think that's kind of the line right there, and he was going 5'11".
I'll send you guys a link to his highlights. You'll see.
Xavi Simmons is a little bit more of a question mark. I think, but I would probably put him in that same bracket, 3rd, 4th round, or 4th, 5th round, 4th, 5th. Because it's just a little bit unknown. Maybe you think earlier.
I think less, lower,
later.
Yeah,
I think he'd be I think he'd be the starting off the left for Chelsea if we spend that much money on Xavi Simmons.
We spend so much money on a lot of players, and I think there's players that you already have that, like Pedro Neto, João Pedro, like those ones. Cole Palmer can play there. You're gonna slot in other players that you have. Gittins, you've also got there that you paid money for. That's it's just so much.
I think he has higher pedigree, so I think he'd have that. I think he'd be more
moved
likely.
So many clubs, so there must be a reason. You know what I mean?
Has he?
Yeah,
Not really. I mean,
Bayern Munich,
PSG. No, he hasn't been to Bayern Munich. He has been to
PSG to Leipzig, and then
Leipzig.
Yeah. And then
there was a loan to Leipzig, then you got the permanent transfer.
PSV.
I don't think it's as much as you think. I think the PSG thing is more like they were buying players, but there was no room for them on this PSG team. Like Ekatike did the same thing. No one's questioning his if he's problematic or has issues.
But it's also like the rotation thing. They have so many wingers with Chelsea. So even with the Brazilian kid, he's also like Estevao.
Yep.
Yeah, Estevao. Sergey wrote Mudryk in the chat.
What about him?
No, he's talking
Oh,
shit.
it's just. Oh yeah, he's not around. Is that it? I think we're done then, right, guys?
Yeah, we're done.
All right. Hopefully this was helpful. I don't know. All right. This has been episode 100 of Draft Offsides. My name's Keefe. I'm with Tiko and Enzo. Thanks for being here. Listening to us. Follow us at Draft Offsides. 100 episodes down. 100 more to go. See you guys very soon. We're gonna be trying to bust out some more content before the start of the season. So stay tuned.
I'm just gonna post because I want Sergey to put my face on Will Chamberlain's picture when he's holding up 100. I just saw our drafts. I don't like the fact that our 12-man league is being drafted before the 10-man league.
I think we do that
Why?
every year.
I know. I think
But
I mentioned
why
this
don't-
before. If you could do it the other way around,
Why?
because I am one of those people. If I have a draft and then I have another draft, my first draft impacts my second draft. Let's say if I'm between two players, I'm like, I have him on this team. I don't want to mess around with it, and I wanted my. Even though last year, yeah.
Wait. Because if that's the case, then you should be saying that your better team should be the first round.
No, I think it impacts it negatively. You're saying, Tiko, huh?
The better team should be the first round if you're thinking about
So
it.
you won a championship in the league that you said that it hurt you because you're looking at other players,
So-
and the other one you came in 7th.
Well, one of them, Mo Salah, fell into my lap. Also,
What are your picks again
I have
in the 12-man league?
6th,
You're
I think
6th
I'm
in there,
sixth, yeah.
and then and you got 2nd.
4th.
I thought you had 2nd.
No, 3rd. I'm sorry, I have 3rd.
No, you have 2nd. Don't
No,
you?
remember it's
Thomas?
Tom, Chris, then
Pull it
me.
up right
Oh,
now.
that's right. That's right.
I was
Come.
2nd, and then I got
When
because
Chris said he wanted to give me his 2nd pick, I was like, "Give it to me, bro. I'll take it."
This is our rankings in our 10-man league. So what are you? Your third?
we're not seeing your screen, so
Oh, you're not seeing You're not seeing it. Oh,
well,
no.
we're still seeing the draft board.
oh, okay. Well,
I am 9th in the 10-man league. I know. Yeah, I am 9th in the 10-man league. I'm 3rd in the 12-man league.
So, but and also to go back to what you were saying, the first draft should be the better team. Is every year I pick players that we talked about
Mhm.
just to see for the sake of the thing.
Are you saying that you don't take the first one as serious as the second?
Yes.
don't take it seriously. I kind of you're saying like I feel like there's a level of just you do one and then not that like you let your energy out, but sometimes it's hard to then you
I
start
take
thinking
both
about like, oh, I
seriously.
drafted.
Well-
You don't go best player. You think, oh, I already drafted this guy. Do I really want to draft him again? You start like having all these questions about that type of stuff.
Exactly. Well, I also like because you're like, all right, if I drop Mo Salah in the first one and then the second one, do I like bank on the first same round pick? If something goes down, if he gets injured, then both of my teams get screwed over.
But because it's 10 and 12, mate, it should differentiate regardless.
It does, but at some points it does matter. And then I do take the 10-man league, 10-man league more serious because I know everyone. We have more of like a friend relationship with them. It's the older league,
Yeah.
and yeah. So
I get
I
that.
get
It's
it,
got
I
more
get it.
seniority.
yeah.
I get it.
Remember the first year I told Sergey I didn't do the draft to make sure to take Højlund in the second round.
I remember.
He did the draft for that one.
I remember.
Yeah.
All right,
And
guys.
Why
What's
was
up?
the whole time I was hearing those noises? I thought maybe Keefe was doing laundry again. So I was like, all right, I don't want to like.
I had the microphone by my crotch.
I
That
cannot
sounded
tell
like-
you how annoying that sound was
Yeah,
the whole
yeah.
time.
I can't
Yeah.
control that guy. What do you want me to do?
I think you can control him. I think that's the point. You did control. him.
He's making a dick joke.
Thank you, Tiko.
The tiny weenie is all over the place. But it's
All right.
what.
I gotta go.
And then there was like thumping. We're getting harder. Why don't you just put it on the table?
Because I'm on my bed.
All right. Bye, guys.
I gotta go. Catch you guys
You
Gotta
know
go.
it's not a real dildo, right? It doesn't belong there.
Jeez.
Look at that. It's got a lie and everything.
Hey.
Hey, look, matching.
Mic'd up.
Matching.
Mic'd up.
Watch. Mic'd up, son. Ay.
Oh,
Does it sound better when it's this close, or is it really loud?
It does. It actually does sound better. I was
You
wondering
see how
why
Ryan's is like this close to his face.
Yeah,
Maybe
exactly.
we should do that.
I think so.
does it sound better? Does it sound better?
You
We sound
sound
more
more like a
professional.
man.